Um, so how will we get there? Cutting edge technology. And in a minute, I'm going to have Eric come up and continue the talk on cutting edge technologies. I'm going to say a couple more things before we get there. And I'm going to say that the most important thing, we bring back this break-even BOE, or dollars per BOE. When we're talking about using technology and what we need to do in the future, this is all that matters. Okay? So today, or yesterday, or whatever, we had $50 WTI price. We want to drive those blue dots down. If we're going to continue to use these plays as our playground, I'm not saying anything that anybody would disagree with, right? We want to be able to drive the break-even price down. Any technology that becomes a game changer is going to have to do that. Otherwise, the only other thing we can do is find other, explore and find other plays, which we will do. But the significant component of technology will have to work in that direction for us. Just a couple more things. You may have heard of this idea of Shale 2.0. I'm going to say that probably the single biggest future technology, distinguishing technology, is going to be the use of information. This industry has collected terabytes and terabytes of data over the past few years, over just the past 5 or 6 years. And so a fellow named Mark Mills at the Manhattan Institute came up with this concept of Shale 2.0. It's kind of a cool concept, but it was devised by somebody who's not an oil and gas professional. So there's some stuff in there that's like, I sort of look at, and say, okay, well, we wouldn't do it that way. But there's some overriding concepts in here that I think are useful, right? And certainly one of them, as a stretch target, is to look at the ability to lower break-even costs. Can we bring them down to $5 to $20 per barrel? I don't know if we can get them that low, but certainly something to shoot for. How are we going to do that? Well, there's really two areas that are important that we can take a look at. One is data-driven models, so understanding the importance of multiple variables on well performance. This plot came from my good friend Samantha Foster at Canadian Discovery, and they do these data analytics, which I think are really powerful. They harness some technology that the oil industry hasn't really embraced fully yet, machine learning methods and genetic algorithms and things like that. But this is simply a sort of decision tree that allows you to cluster, and it does it sort of, there's an automated procedure for doing this, going through large volumes of data and figuring out and grouping and figuring out what's important, and then coming up with sort of, this was done for a particular area of the Montney, and the conclusion was that there's, on average, you're going to get a better well if you follow this sort of recipe. And it's not a deterministic thing, right? It's not like a guarantee, I follow this recipe, I get this result. But statistically, it's going to give you a better answer. One more comment to make here. Another area where information technology can be really, really valuable and is already extremely valuable is this idea of drill smarter, not harder. Okay? The idea here is we're going to find the sweet spots. If we look at the last 10 years, the big hammer is basically manufacturing operation, drill, 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 drill. This is taking it to the next level, and it's saying, no, let's use all the data we have available, which includes a huge amount, terabytes of seismic data, integrating that with petrophysics, integrating that with frac models, integrating that with production, and creating a 3D production attribute map, an actual full 3D cube of the heat spots in here. That's where you want to drill to give you your best chance of getting a productive well or productive stage. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Laredo Petroleum is doing this. A lot of other companies are doing this sort of work as well.